Hello everyone. Come on, game. There we go. Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully everything sounds better. I think I've made my mic a little bit better, maybe? Question mark? I'm trying to figure out why this guy supposedly can't find a staff building. Maybe we'll fix that later. As for right now, we should... Wow, this is already crazy busy. Which is great, because I want it to take traffic away from there, but... Yeah. Let's do this. We'll have to put that habitat in later. But let's replace the image with our Collared Peccaries. Hope everyone's doing great today. I'm doing pretty good. And yeah, we're just gonna try and do some nice building, finish the Collared Peccary, maybe even get a start on the our habitat. We'll see. For our South American like rainforest build. Then we'll just kind of... Sorry, I'm trying to get my dogs to get used to being in here. Let me know how the mic is. I think it's going to be better now. I mean, that's certainly what my test indicated, was that the mic sounds better. Now that it's closer to my face, which, yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos on how to improve, so... hope that it does make a difference. Why is this one so hard to grab? Wow. It was literally easier to grab anything except for that. I wonder how... There we go. Oh, it didn't actually select any of that. Okay, cool. I just want to see if I grab, like, this piece. Maybe even it can go, like, here. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but... That doesn't change the color at all. But whatever. It won't be too big of a deal. We'll change all these colors to black. And I mean, that's a pretty convincing education sign. And then we just... Facilities, we go over here. And once we get the peccaries actually in there... How do we want to get staff in here exactly? We could have a section of the wall here that they could come through. Or we could make this large enough. I'm thinking we'll just bring this wall this way. This will be their interior enclosure. And staff will just enter through there, and we'll just make this large enough for them to actually go through. I think that's probably the way that makes the most amount of sense. Oh, that's going to be a construction piece. Alright, let's just get this going. I think we will need to raise this up. Just so that it makes sense of that. And yeah, we can create... I mean, this is a pretty nice habitat the way that it is so far. But let's create... I want to do a bit of stuff in here. So we want a forage box. Kinda towards the back here, methinks. And then we want this mud bath kinda towards the front, down like here. That will kinda help us. Then this we want apparently wherever we can put it. Why is this obstructed? Let's see if maybe when we put this down... Maybe if it doesn't have to actually flatten the ground, or no, it just doesn't like any of this for some odd reason. We'll put that back there. Change its color. You can get that right there so that guests can view it. We actually want to work on terrain over there. We put a cardboard box in here where the guests can view it. Them playing with their cardboard box in there. Small barrel feeder. So we actually need to go and let's mess with the terrain a bit, because I think we need to do some of that now that we've gotten bigger pieces in here. This will probably make a good clip. Just kind of, you can use this push tool and pull tool to just kind of create these more natural looking enrichment pieces, if you didn't know that. And then I think we're going to try and create like a dry river bed here. That's going to add a little bit of separation as well. And then we'll just use the flatten to foundation here. The path's going to mess with it a little bit, but not too big of a deal. Let's push this down a little bit deeper. Alright, there we go. So this is kind of more of a dry riverbed, and then we'll just do the same thing over here. We'll just kind of cover this up, and then we'll push it back down. We just want to cover that wood because it just doesn't look great. And then if we flatten the foundation, turn the intensity down, and just quickly slope this, it's going to allow us to create more interesting, like, texture variations. And we'll raise this a good bit, so we got that rock formation that I created. Blueprint will be available soon on the workshop. Oh, and there's a path there, that's why it doesn't like doing the terrain. And we're going to take the smooth function, turn that up quite a bit. Make that all a little bit smoother. Same here. And we're just going to grab this and bring this a little bit more in line with everything. So that's that. Then we'll create kind of a bit more interest over there. Let's get back to putting in some more enrichment items, now that we kind of know where things are going to be. And it's kind of a good idea to get this before we put the habitat barriers in, because the habitat barriers definitely could cause some issues. I think we'll put this over there. And I don't really think we need a melon. We've got plenty of food enrichment. Wind chimes could be fun. Maybe more for the indoor entertainment value, because I don't really think I want it in the enclosure. We'll see if it's We'll see how that goes. Maybe they can use it, maybe they can't. I'm not as familiar with that enrichment type. Then we need to get some water. And we'll hide that for sure, because I don't really like those being in the habitat. So we'll just... There we go, and... We'll change the color on that, because I much prefer that look there. And of course we'll get this monorail track off of it. How we're going to do that exactly, I'm not sure. We'll probably just have to start the curve there. I mean, the whole monorail track thing is going to get changed quite a bit. Really liking how this is looking. Let's go ahead and clean up some of these fence breaks. Yeah, we can just get a nice, seamless texture in here. And then here we'll have a bit of a garden. So, because the idea is that the guest won't be able to get too close to the barrier here, and then here, this kind of arm bar keeps them from sticking their hands through and stuff. But we might want some signage to just also indicate that, because, you know, people can be stupid. So we'll probably put some signs over there. And then, you know what, we also, being a little scatterbrained, but I think we want to get the Americas, not the conservation one, though it is quite nice. Where's the Americas? Why can't I see it? Is it not? Oh, there it is. It was just hiding from me. And by hiding from me, it was most certainly not hiding from me. Come on, right there. We're going to change its colors to our wood texture, and then we're going to make this black. I know I've been using the green, but I think I like the black metal significantly better. And let's create some signs here. I'm kind of in the sign making go, can merge that together, that up. Make that a black color. Let's see. Feel like that's required, and then we'll just put a security camera in here because you know, people are liable to not follow instructions. But I just kind of want it closer to the wall. In fact, I might and unfortunately it's not colorable, but it does look significantly better like that than... Okay. Now that we've got that kind of in, let's work on the actual back. Well, shut this out down, and then we'll edit track. We would just want to rotate this. Let's get that right to 0 degrees. And just kind of erase to there. There we go. That just kind of comes around like that. Get it all back online. All right. Let's do just a little bit more. With like a donations station, like a donation bin there. We'll grab... Should have a donation bin here somewhere. grab this one then. And then for this one, we'll say domestication, because they're a pig. They're not really that closely related to regular pigs, but, you know, it is what it is. There's nothing else on the habitat for them, right? I mean, we'll need to do the bedding. Yeah, alright. Let's do the backstage area. Then we just got to... We can pretty easily just grab this bit. Don't really want to get those daffodils in because they're not from the same region. Oops. Forgot about that funny little experiment that we put there. There we go, and let's see if we can put this habitat gate right there. And that looks a little funky, but we'll just delete that, delete that, delete that. And then this will be our entryway into here. So we'll have this at a 90 degrees like so. But we'll actually have natural path in here. But we'll have facilities, we'll take security. just place those like so. That'll keep the guest from going there, and we'll just make this green and black. That's our do not enter sign. And we can actually make that look a little bit more interesting through probably our... Maybe we do a different path. Like, do we do tree bark? Or do we designate it as different with something like gravel? I think I like the gravel idea, and we'll line it with... I don't think we really do too many facilities back here. I think we'll just do some implied backstage areas, not... and not actually have to do anything crazy. But I do like the idea of having this. So this is your immediate area of where you can maybe work with... Yeah. Palette. We'll just get this all. Then he bale. Then we'll just put that up like so. Take that angle snap off. Just rotate it a smidge, you know? Make it look a little bit more realistic. Is it the T? Great, yeah. I think we'd only want one on there. Something like... I think the Indonesia pack has some nice pieces. Excuse me. That's a little too big. But you'd want stacks of cardboard like this as animal enrichment. So I have no problem putting something like that in. Ooh, a trellis could be cool. I don't think I need any of this other stuff though. Let's do some basic conservation pack stuff in here. Like, we want some pails. And then to designate what area they're from, we'll just kind of do this like we've been doing. That's fine for me. And we'll grab some salt grass. Or Saltworth. There we go. Just kind of raise that a bit. I don't want it clipping too much. It can clip a little bit. Let's raise that a bit more. Kind of get some just different hay things in here. Like pretty standard hoofstock building. Nothing too crazy in there. I like that. That's looking pretty good. We're doing some fun stuff. Let's see. Oh, now we can advertise for this habitat. Accept. And let's get some rocks in. First, let's start off with our... Well, I guess first we should see... Land area 1184. How many peccaries does it think that... Just, you know, wondering. So it can't have multiple males, multiple females. Okay, we just can't have children of the males in it. Okay. Looks like we're going to be able to house quite a bit of them. Probably that 14 amount. So that's good. Shouldn't have any space problems in here. So let's go grab some desert rocks, which should be over here. Like this one. So we should be able to add plenty of these kinds of rocks because even if we do limit their area, well, we've got plenty of area to spare. But I seem to remember that they had pretty good traversable area. From what I recall. So this is going to use a good bit of buffalo grass. We'll see just how much. Probably the drier versions. There we go, and we'll probably put some grunge decals along there. This is a very large collared peccary enclosure, but I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, let's look at the collared peccary again. They can live in all kinds of environments. Desert, tropical. So I think we're going to do desert, and they can do North America, right? Yes. Great. It's going to give us a lot of plants to work with. Continent. North, South America. Biome. We're going to do grassland, maybe temperate, and then desert as well. So we could use these arrowwood bushes. They're probably a little bit too green for me, but I don't think we're going to use bald cypress. Don't think we're going to use beech. Going for dry savanna, something like that. So definitely buffalo grass. Maybe a few cattails, just kind of like poking in and out of there. For the dry riverbed. Trying to see if what kind of will work with this. I want maybe a tree or two. But probably more than anything, we might use the manzanita. If we use this, it's going to be down like so, which I think we will probably use. Hawthorn, we can make some kind of bush structures. We could put some of these in. Then the manzanita I like as well. Lots of different varieties of this plant. That and the creosote we're probably going to use quite a bit. I like the way this looks as well. That's too much. We're going to use these ponytail palms around this edge, because we're going to put a garden there and just kind of rotate those. Because that will look like a nice grass. Something like that, maybe even. They should have a pretty good tolerance for plants because they can live in tropical, so they should be able to have quite a few. Alright, let's see. Just checking out stuff. My chat is working, right? Just making sure that we're live and everything. So we'll probably use the sagebrush as well, though the texture's not looking great on it. Like, I just want to make sure. Texture looks good on everything else. Does the sagebrush just have a crappy texture? That's gonna be too much, yeah. We can definitely have some of this, especially if it's sticking in down in areas like something like this. Salt cedar. Depending on how big it is. Yeah, we can use something like that, maybe. Okay, there we go. Virginia Creeper, I don't know, that might be a little too much. Ooh, Tupelos. But you know what it does mean we can use? It's these. We haven't been able to use these in franchise at all yet, so besides our fox enclosure. So that is an absolute win. And I don't hate the white birch tree, some of them, for maybe like... Maybe we place one or two in there. Oh, this was the sage that I think I liked. Yeah, there we go. Well, maybe the other one wasn't so bad if you're really zoomed into it. It does not look that great. So we like the saguaro. We're going pretty desert-like, but not like too crazy. It's gonna be an interesting habitat for sure. Like, I don't think I use the African oil palms. To be fair, I don't like palms most of the time. Now, I might actually use this, especially in like this area here. Because that's a nice workshop item. Quite expensive, but very nice. And I think it kind of sells this dry riverbed feel to it quite a bit. Yeah, I'm a fan of that for sure. We do get to see our money just disappear. But it does add also a nice separation between, like, the guest and the peccaries. Yeah, I'm liking that. Maybe we have some of this slightly... We'll have some of the greener stuff kind of still living in where maybe we got a little puddle. Also, maybe some leaves in here. I don't know, I kind of like that idea. And these could be some of the fresher leaves. That could work. That's a cool concept, I think. And the peccary should be able to move through that. We're not going to do that here. I've already got plans for where I'm going to use that kind of stuff, but I think we want most of our cactus to be up against this rock wall. I don't want to go too crazy with the barrel cactus, though. Because we're already probably going to go... Ooh. I kind of like that. Wonder if animals can go through the bluegrass or the blue stem grass. Not exactly sure. Let's see. Again, we don't want to go too crazy. We are going to go a little crazy with these, but that will do at the end. Yeah, I think I do want to put a few of these cattail reeds. Probably just the 1 meters. The texture on them is not great. If I place them down, does that get any better? I'm not dealing with that. Maybe some salt worth in here. Did I lose my internet? Did I lose my internet there for a second? Well, that ticks me off. Man, that's frustrating. Well. We did have a storm last night, so... It's funny, we don't lose power during storms at my house. We lose them the day afterwards. Because someone runs into the power line. It's weird, but it happens almost every single time. Cornflower... Yeah, that's gonna make it look too... It's this creosote bush is what I want. I really love the creosote bush. I think it really elevates desert habitats, especially the dry version. I feel like that would just look out of place. Go. Oh gosh, game lagged for a second there. So like these guys would kind of rip up a lot of stuff, so we want to make sure that it's not too... there's not too many plants that are just out and about, if that makes sense. Do I want more than one Joshua tree? Let's see. I like this one kind of frames it. Like that. That's too tall, but yeah. Doesn't look these now. I think this is one of the main viewing areas. Kind of points you towards the watering hole almost. Here. Let's just get a look at... Oops. Thought we had fixed that. Guess not, but Here we are. Okay, that's all in place now. So, if you were to walk, you've got this viewing zone, which points you over to that little water pool, and this is kind of the drier side. You can come over here and see them eat. I like this. Okay. I like how it's shaping up so far. I think we want to grab some of that, where'd it go? So we've got our manzanita. Buttercup. I mean, I still think that's probably a little bit too much. Some nettles maybe in here, this dry riverbed. Just because they're going to grow in the middle of anything that's not super managed, and pigs can't get down into here. So, do we want any organ pipe cactus? I think the answer is yes. Just gotta figure out where to put it. I kinda like that. That kind of frames this corner nicely. Do we want a big one? I feel like that pretty nicely comes out of there and adds a little bit of height there. How's everyone doing today? I see we got a few people in chat. Hope everything's doing good. Just checking a few things. So the prickly pear. We're going to want some rocks around that tree, or a tree guard. So we've got a few more plants in our palette that we might want to get around to. That's a good place for a prickly pear. Maybe one along this wall? Because this wall's looking a bit bare. We'll probably put some sage over there as well. Not this sage. Unless, hold on, there was a perfect moment. There's got just the right viewing area, and unfortunately, everywhere else it looks like crap. So, do we do saguaros? They're very large, and they would get kind of torn up by the peccary, so I think we'll save that for like the coyote or something else. Salt cedar bush, add a little bit of color. Hey, how's it going, Monkey's Tavern? Thanks for joining the stream. How does the audio sound? I've kind of think I fixed some stuff, and this is for the Collared Peccary. But I got the mic closer to my face, and I think that should make it a little bit better. Is that actually visible? How about from this viewing area? Sort of. Nice, good. I did a few tests, and I did find that I preferred it, but I wanted to get it by someone who actually has a vested opinion. Don't think we want to put those in yet, because they're all gonna, those are gonna go on this rock wall, which will be at the workshop eventually. I'm so happy to now get to be able to use some of these. Have you seen Caesar Creates video today? It was so good. Not yet, but as of next week, I'll start adding things onto the workshop. Um, it's part of a new series I'm kind of working on. I'm going to be calling them workshop workdays. Partially inspired by Workshop Wednesdays by ZSH Creates, or ZSH Creates if you don't live in America. I do like these white birch trees, but I think I've actually got too many trees already in here. It's this white. I haven't seen his yet, but yeah, Caesar's video for his white-faced sake, he makes an incredible netted over enclosure that we're gonna definitely steal some ideas for my I think my ocelot enclosure is gonna look somewhat similar. That adds a little bit more greenery onto this side, and then we'll scuff that area up a bit. Some hedgerows. Do we want any hedgerows? Just a little bit of green. And I guess we need to do some terrain painting. Because, I mean, while it's sort of a desert... So we're... So now we're going to really go crazy with making this. We're going to have a few patches of green, but for the most part, it's going to be this dirt and sand texture. But I wanted to get everything green so that I can kind of leave a few areas green. And then just lightly go over here. And then I want sand. Come in with a pretty high intensity but low brush size. And is there one that really doesn't look that different? That's what frustrates me about the grassland biome. But all these areas they would tramp down. And they should... apparently not. My dad... So it didn't work on his computer for some odd reason, like crashed and stuff. But he says it's not actually that bad. And there's a few people I've heard who say that it's not that bad. I feel like I would hate it. Absolutely hate it. But my dad thought he would dislike it, but he says he's been enjoying it. I haven't heard much recently. So this is just where... Because these guys are going to root all over the place. So we probably want to put some heavy soil into. This one we're going to do a much wider brush. I haven't really watched any of Kingpin's videos. I tried to watch Paul's builds, but all of his stuff looks very square in me, so I couldn't get past that. I've heard he's entertaining, but like nothing too crazy happening here, and we'll get some more rocks in there. So let's, I think we were done with all this, right? Yes, so we want we want the century plant and the yucca. Now we turn align to surface on. I wish there was a version of this without the flower. Let's see. I think we're going to go back and just make some century plants. Go through here. Just to kind of make this rock wall look a little bit more interesting. Um, that looks pretty good, so let's go ahead and start working on this sort of, what's it called, garden area, which is going to be outside of the habitat, because I want to add a ton of plants. And we just bring this like so-ish. Yeah. would be nice to get more data. Oop, blocked. Alright, and then we can actually type in mulch. Bring that like so. Ba-dee-doo-da. And just nicely bring that to face there. Bring that like so. Turn off random rotation. You're not really going to be able to see this anyway. Oh, it's mine. I think it's happening because my phone's open. I don't know why it's giving me the sound now. I thought it was in my headphones, but I guess it wasn't. Fortunate. Sorry about that. Come on, game. I've started also, I'm going to be putting clips of these streams out on YouTube. And TikTok. I reinstalled TikTok after being frustrated with it for a while. And I saw you had followed me. So, thanks for that. Sorry there's been nothing on there, but there will be now. Ah, bollocks. We'll fix that in a bit. Let's see. Bring that in like so. Oh, you're good. I looked for a second and then I was like, eh, doesn't. I don't watch TikTok, so. Oh. Oof. Seems like I need to move this all just a tiny bit. This way. Then all this needs to move a tiny bit this way. Then we're all good, and we can go ponytail palm. Which I know everyone loves to build with, but I have not built with them before, so... This is my foray into the ponytail palm. I don't think I built for them. North America. Yeah, no, I haven't. True. You know, learning experiences are important. Where would we be without them? I've certainly had mine. I don't either, but they do look great for like a kind of grass thing. Which is kind of what I wanted, because technically I'm doing more like a dry grassland. And so kind of doing this as the background kind of works as well. I can see why people use them, because the texture looks good. A little worse when you zoom all the way in, but... I mean, it's a North American desert plant, so there's not too many animals you can use it for. But I take that back. I guess you've actually probably got a good bit. Nowadays, you've got prairie dog, bison, pronghorn. Yeah, never mind. Bighorn sheep. Yeah, well, I mean, it's supposed to look like this. Looks very odd. But very green for a desert. We're gonna be live till 3. I got to pick up my wife from work because she left her license someplace. Yeah, no, it definitely does. Yeah, it feels like something you would find in the Everglades. Need something to fill in the background there. I guess we could just... Or we are running very dangerously low on funds. Each one of those is 40 bucks. Let's see, how does this look? Just slightly towards the back. A little bit lower. That looks good. I like that. So we'll bring it like so. Again, making sure that we show that this is some sort of grassland. So we put in this denser grass. Guess we can actually use this, crazily enough. I don't think I've really ever used this much. I mean, I do like them. I think they look pretty good. They look very much like something you would actually put in a garden that had grasses, because these are often used for what I can tell. Alright, that should make the background look a little bit less disconnected, yeah. I think I like that. So now, let's put some decals. I think the scuff marks probably work better. It is a pig enclosure, so dirt and grime is going to kind of be the name of the game. That's going to tie this enclosure together quite a bit better, hopefully. Alright, let's get this all going. Now onto the concrete sections. It's going to be less visible here, but it's still useful. I think just to make it look a little bit more tied in with the rest of the enclosure, because that concrete wall could draw your attention to it, and I think the grunge is going to kind of help make it blend more into the rocks, if that makes sense at all. And then, obviously, we gotta do it along here. No, it's still aligned to surface. Whoopsie. I think we want to change the color on this one in particular. I want this to be significantly darker, because that's like they actually did something to this, because they can actually get around to it. Alright, and let's do it on the floor as well. Just to kind of tie all this in together. Just kind of tie all this in together. That's the plan here. I'm very excited about my rainforest, my Amazon building. I'm also don't have a clue what I'm doing on it. That's not true-ish, but it is partially true. Just a little bit of extra mud kind of this way. Alright. Now there's a few more things we want to do. That's primarily what we do for pretty much every enclosure. Do we want this grass or do we want this grass? We want this grass. Maybe we'll do a mix of the two. This is where we kind of get this feeling of like where we can get bit more interest into our habitat. Just this buffalo grass. This is where we can really add the color to our enclosure. This, I think I'm gonna really like how this habitat kind of comes together. Yeah, I think I like that quite a bit. Let's put a little bit more rock work in. Thanks. We're working on just making this look a little bit more and we'll make some tree guards as well. Some new ones. Because I've got an idea of how we can use some of the newer pieces. And they should be able to use it no problem. Because we've got this way oversized for what like we would need in a max group. So all right. I've got an idea of how I want to use this. I think. I think we actually might want to go with the faux rocks now. I think I like these. Over here. And we go boom, boom. Make you a group. Game's gonna lag. There we go. Then we'll just place these mainly along this pathway to make it look like they've kind of worn it down to where they're hitting the rocks below it, if that makes sense. And also kind of around these trees. Around these pools. We want lots of rocks, but we're going to lower them quite a bit. Collared Peccary is one of the more recent animals, so I don't see them not being able to move through this enclosure pretty well. But we'll see. And let's see. There we go. Honestly, I think I'm pretty happy with that. We won't really know until we'll get the peccaries in, but let's finish this area, which means doing the roof. So, actually, let's do... Can we... Oh shoot, that's right. It's not... I guess because it's curved. And we need it to go roughly 8 meters. Are y'all hearing that Discord sound? If so, I'm truly sorry. Let's make that a group. Can we, like... We just bring this like so. It's of course not going to line up because it's lower for some reason. Now I think if we do it without why would that happen? Because it's angled. That's why. That would be why. Can we, maybe, maybe? It's kind of an interesting shape. Let's see. Lower that a little bit. Also want to remind anyone who's in the stream who has not yet to go ahead and like the stream. It helps out. There we go. So now I feel like we can We're gonna have to hit the play button soon. Alright, so now this... Can we lower this and not have any severe penalties? Yes-ish. Not too upset with that. Hey Origin, welcome to the stream. We're probably got another 2 hours. Oh, you're all good. Thanks for tuning in so far. I'm really liking how this habitat looks. Yeah. Don't think we do, actually. I think we go large. We grab that, bring this down. We'll recolor everything in the end. Yeah. I did, actually. It's actually pretty easy to do. I just haven't ever had the thought to do it, but now I'm starting to actually get the custom... Like, beforehand, I was like, I don't really see the point. Now, I'm like, you can make it look so much more realistic with those. Why can't I grab this piece? Weird. Gosh, we're gonna have so many guests over in this area. Oh, I did it again. X. Not Control X. X. There we go. Then we just bring this about like so. I think we can actually have this overhang a bit. They've got no problems with that. Then we bring this along like so, just have that cemented into the wall. Bring this along like so. We want to get it somewhat... Unfortunately, we're kind of hiding our peccary enclosure there. Or the peccary info board. We might actually just get away with just a donation box sunk into something else, because this is actually... Or we might just make this. Okay, catch you later. Yeah, we just want to make this as subtle as possible, but... Actually, you know what? It's going to be a lot faster if we just use... Oh, come on. There we go. That makes everything look much better supported. Much, much better. Though, actually... Can we, like... Actually... Sorry. If I'm getting real close to my, I didn't mean to do that. Like C instead of... I think this is actually the more useful piece there. Let's see. Can we... Come on, game. What's this? Alright, let's go. Really liking how this building's looking. Okay, never mind. How would I cover that? I almost never use that piece, but I guess it's going to be useful there. And now there's just a little bit more I think we need to do. I just want to wire all this together. I actually think I want to do it with the cable. Make this like a black color. That's weird. There we go, now all that's connected and I feel a lot better about it being actually secured in there. Now let's recolor all those pieces. This is all going to, of course, get spam. Interesting. If my wife is texting me, that means she's got off early, so I will need to leave at that point. But, let's see. Change this brick to our brick color that we've been using. I'll probably need to take a bathroom break and let the dogs out after we finish this. I think there's something... I'm trying to remember what piece it is. Is it maybe... I mean, I want something smaller that I can maybe, like, just attach to that. Nothing on the bricks. I think it was this. Oh, hey Sparrow! Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I'm really liking this. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Thanks for the comment. I've been watching your stuff recently and been really enjoying it. That's not really what I want. Is it something in the limestone set? Just need something that tapers up to there. No, 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 no. Well, maybe if we just type in taper. Nah. There's this, which is way too big. Yeah, nope. And then... well, hold on. Maybe we just change all this to our column base. Let me see that in just a second. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, can't type. Yeah, let me see. So that's an option that I don't hate. Really, game? I don't think I'm gonna like that one, but and it's not flexicolor, so yeah, nope. That one's gonna be too thick. That one's just almost right. Nope. Hold up though. That other side there. Nope. Hold on. No, that's too much. I mean, I've used this before. I don't hate that. Like, that kind of works, but yeah, that one's too big. That one also works, so it's really just a matter of... which one do we prefer? This? This? This one's not flexicolor. I think I actually like this one the most. I'll just shuffle that alongside there. Then, can we maybe... selecting this is going to be a pain in the butt, but I kind of want to move it over so that we can... no, didn't want to select those rock walls. Oh, Sparrow, your video on creating like the slate walls, I kind of used that here, so you gave me that idea there. So, very much thank you. Shoot, there's a lot to unselect here. I guess that's the pain of putting everything in the same group. I like to rock. Yeah, I've been really enjoying Whispering Woods. It's so now I'm between, do I just, okay, let's see. Maybe if thank you. Yeah, I've never, my other enclosure was more of them being kind of in a campus environment. See, I can deal with this. This I can just, these are big pieces that I can deselect. So when I built them, it was like a dry savanna almost. But I'm rebuilding for them because I've improved a ton since I did those. I mean, they were some of my first habitats on this zoo, and it had been a while since I'd played Planet Zoo, and I started caring once I started like actually recording things. So, actually doesn't matter if I move that to the side a tiny bit. Alright, so we just need to deselect that, deselect that. I don't really want that. Okay, we of course forgot that, but that's okay. We'll just bring that back like so. That's fine. People can see the habitat way better now. Okay. I think we're about ready for the animals, and not a moment too soon, because we are 6,000 gold. We'll have to... gold? 6,000... monies. Dollars. That's currency. But yeah, I'm liking that. We'll get our peccaries in a bit. I'm gonna go take my dogs out into the backyard for a bit, run to the bathroom, and I'll be right back. Thanks everyone for joining so far. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Alright, we're back. So let's get these animals in. They should be... You should be... Bam Bam, you should be traded off. And we can actually expand our peccary population by a good bit, because the old enclosure wasn't... Oh, actually, you know what? We gotta do work zones. Staff... Work zones... So yeah, technically a desert grass, a dry grassland still, but more Mexico themed maybe. So it's not really pampas, but okay. Excuse you, little monster. So yeah, we'll need a few things we gotta finish. Stop it. It's just gardening around here. We'll put like a path. We'll do some sort of... We might even just use these, because it's just a staff area. Door needs to go in here. And then we need to finish this backstage area and put in a roof here. I think that's our to-do list right now. Well, I've got one lab mutt, and if I can get the other... Milo, come here. If I can get the other one, he's a miniature dachshund. Oh shoot, there's a cat in the driveway. It's over. Stop it, y'all. And then, if you look there, that's my chameleon. Ah, shucks. He's a monster. That's why he's in the room with me, because he will not behave. He's been banned from the couch. Okay. Let's click play and get a little bit of money. Did we get any butterfly sales? Not yet. We should get some soon. Did we get a breeding pair of Tasmanian devils? No. Did we sell... Okay. We'll wait till they get to be adults. But that's a little weird. Excuse me? Okay, what's this pathing issue that's happened? Oh, is there a pathing issue? No, this is all pathing that makes sense, even though it's gross. People can make it across to here. This whole thing's getting torn down, so... Yeah. Yeah, they're, Is there something... like... What in the heck? Can you just go to that trade center? Okay. Also, it's being super weird with... I found that the larger this zoo gets, the more bugs you get as well. Oh, I thought I clicked unpause. Move. So you mean no path to destination? Wait, how? Why are these guys not happy? Don't tell me you... What happened here? They used to be able to go through this. These guys can go... Why can they no longer go inside? What if I do that? Are you happy now, even though I'm not? Yes. What about... You were able to go in there once. Okay, they're fine now. Alright, let's try this again. You are going to move here. But there is a path to destination. Right? We see... If we just, like, delete that pathway. Let's try that again. Move. You. Lay down. You're okay. But I know that there's a path to destination. Relax. I don't know why my dogs are barking now. I think I might have to reload, 'cause sometimes this just... It's probably what happened is it's a new Planet Zoo day. Because that seems to break the game sometimes. Now we get to load into everything for another 20 minutes. Kidding. Ish. It is taking its time to deload. Just... Let's see. Like if I click resume... Nope, okay. So it's not that it needed to give me those 100 conservation credits. I'm gonna go grab a soda real quick, because it's gonna take a little bit. While we're waiting, here's a little munchkin. You monster. I'd get the chameleon, but she'd bite me. Nice. Come on, Planet Zoo, you can do it. Sparrow, you got any ideas on what the animal pack is going to be? Can we agree that there is a path to the destination? We cannot agree, apparently. We can send you there. My guess is aquariums. If it's the last DLC. If they don't do it as the last DLC, then I've got no clue. But that might just be wishful thinking. We can get through here, right? Yep. No. It's not because... Oh, that would be dumb if that's the case. Don't want to use this staff path. It's because this... Do I misunderstand this? Guest and staff will attempt to avoid... Aha. Well, that sucks. So, staff can't reach it unless there's a staff path because of the barrier. Well, I gave one some advice on how to make these not look ugly, and... Well, I know how I can make it look less ugly, but... Kind of just ticked off at this point that that's what I wanted to use. I guess what I could do is just like rotate like so, maybe. If I do this, can I? No. I never knew that. Okay, okay. Ricardo, you're going to move. Okay, that doesn't seem to be the problem. So they could fit in there. They could fit in there. They could fit in there. But they can't fit in there. Let's try one. Okay, what's wrong with the king penguins now? Okay, yeah. Oh, why? I don't know why they were boxed to begin with. Let's see. I think I might have got one sent in. Maybe? Yes, they seem to be able to go now. Well, are they... Don't tell me. Okay, game. Okay. Look, they're not in the enclosure anymore. Or they're in the enclosure now. Okay, so then the question is, I guess, if we go to facilities and go to security, can we use, like, this to just keep guests from going? I mean, there's no reason that a guest should really want to go back here, but we'll see. If they start going down here, then I've got one more solution after this. Let's make this like our white plaster. And if we just lower that. Yep, learned that the hard way. Alright, so if we click play now, these guys should be fine. And they can use the majority of their enclosure, which is good. The one place they can't use that they need is this, which, you know, it was a long shot to... You know what, we were going to create a, Now that's accessible. We were going to create a tree barrier. I can't do that with $3,000, so I should have a few thousand in reserve here. Yeah, one could say that. That should be enough to make us a simple tree barrier. So if we just go... Everyone calls it the mud pillar and it confuses me. I know exactly what I want to do for this. Actually, you know what? I was gonna use these to make these crazy metal working shapes, but let's just do it the easy way. Oh, shoot. Why make it difficult on myself when the game's pretty much given me a nice piece to use here? Honestly, when I do my tier list... No, you're okay. Go to your bed. Go to your bed. You're okay. It's like you don't get any attention. When I do my tier list of, like, packs, I have to put the America's pack really high, if only for the fact of all these metal pieces. Because they're pretty incredible, in my opinion. That's not the direction I wanted to rotate it. Because peccaries will definitely tear up a habitat. It's not fully circular. I mean, I had a feeling that it wasn't, but... Or I make a fool of myself again. Let's see. It's looking like it's close enough. Alright, thanks. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Get this all situated. Yeah, I really do appreciate the time you spent watching. I'm excited to see your next video. Maybe we'll just put that one like so. Wow, those are some expensive tree guards, but I think they look good. Let's get the play. We want to get some more, another male peccary, just so we can have some unrelated. Then we can just grow up our herd that way. There's no... Yeah, they're gonna be unhappy, but that's just, it's just how they are. There we go. Getting this going, and I really like this habitat. Wow, that's getting quite crowded. Question is, does it take crowding from there? Yeah, it does. That's great. Maybe our guys will be less stressed, and that will be quite nice for change. Then let's get this, and we're just gonna start making a garden again. But yeah, we've got our, all the animals that we put away are now, their habitat is completed, so we'll start to work on our Amazon section soon. I don't think it may not be this stream, because we're probably going to just try and finish this habitat, but next stream that we do, we will get that figured out. Start working on that. Let's get this going. Hold on, guys. I think this is going to be the end of the stream. Alright, yeah. This is going to be the end of the stream. For people on Twitch, I'm going to send you to someone else, I think. Yeah. We'll raid in just a second. And, yeah.